Hey y'all, I'm Val with Our Forever Farm. Today we're doing all kinds of things. I'm telling you, I don't know where to start, to be honest. So a friend came and picked the garden for me. That's wonderful. I'm getting my dehydrator ready to probably dry some tomatoes. So we've been doing cucumber chips. I did bananas. We're doing a lot today, y'all. But one of the main things, now I've got a lot of vegetables to put up. I'm gonna start some more sweet refrigerator pickles, and I've got a bowl in the refrigerator that's finished and ready to put in jars, but I am not gonna put it in a jar. So I buy my mayonnaise big like this when I buy it. I'm gonna put my sweet refrigerator pickles in there. Then I can just dip out what we need. Now, Sweet Hunter never liked these pickles, but he likes them this year. Pickles still happen, don't they? So I'm real excited because these are my favorite sweet pickles. Let me show them to you. So this is my sweet refrigerator pickles. Let me show you something else. My sweet friend Stacy, she made this recipe too. The only thing she said she didn't like is she used bigger cucumbers. So we'll probably try to use smaller cucumbers on these. But this is what mine looks like. This is after about 9 days, and I just haven't jarred it up yet. If you want to know how to do that, you can go, I'll link it in the description box. That'll be the easy thing to do. I've got a video, step by step, every day what to do. It takes you about a minute to do it. And then you have pickles, and they are delicious. Let's see if you can hear this crunch. I don't know if you can or not. Can you hear that crunch? They're so good. I don't ever do sweet pickles in canning anymore. I just do the refrigerator pickles. I'm blessed with a refrigerator outside, so I can keep a lot of them. But this will save a lot of room right here. So that's what I'm going to do right now. I've got this ready for the next time I use it. I'm going to put these up, and I'm going to jar up my sweet refrigerator pickles and put them in this. And then I'm going to start another batch. So as you can see, this made this whole big, this is not a small jar. This is a gallon, I think. Let me look. Yeah. And as you can see, I filled it up. I'm gonna take Stacy's jar. This is the same recipe, what Stacy did. So I'm gonna take the jar that she gave me, where I can get most of the pickles. And then I can give her jar back, and she can fill it back up and give me something good. She's a great cook, makes the best cinnamon rolls ever. We'll have to get her to do that on video if she will. I think she will. So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna add this jar to mine. And then we got a gallon of sweet refrigerator pickles done. I want 2 gallons for the winter. These are great to use in potato salad. They're great for just eating on the side with anything. Like I said, Sweet Hunter loves them now, and he used to not like any sweet pickles, but he likes these. So this is a great way to use up your cucumbers. I'm just about to fill this up. I'm gonna make some potato salad today. Whoops, dropped that one. I think I'm gonna leave these out for the potato salad. So I've got that full. I'm going to pour this liquid back in here. So I'm going to use the rest of these for my potato salad today. I told you earlier that when I buy my mayonnaise, I buy it like this. And then I used to have a little jar. I would fill it up in the refrigerator, keep my big one outside in the garage, and just this one, and fill the little mayonnaise jar. I don't have any mayonnaise. So today I made mayonnaise. I didn't get it on video, but I may need some more for the potato salad. So if I do, I'll show you how I make my mayonnaise. It's so easy to do. Just to show you what I've got waiting on me, this is what I've got waiting on me. This is just today's picking. It's amazing. We are so blessed. So I told y'all this was going to be a hodgepodge video. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and start my potato salad. And I'm just making a small batch of the potato salad because what I'm doing for supper tonight, I'm a mess. What I'm doing for supper tonight is we went out to eat the other night at a place that has the best ribs ever. And we had leftovers. And so we brought the ribs home and we haven't had a chance to eat them. But I've got them in the crock pot, just left over from a restaurant. And we're gonna make barbecue, potato salad, maybe some baked beans, I'm not sure. My potato salad, I've done a video on that. I'll link it below in the description box. If you don't know how to get to the description box, let me tell you real quick. The title of the video is here. Right below it, you'll see some writing and you'll see the word more. When you see that word more, click on more. It will take you to the description box. That's where you get the recipes. That's where you get anything we tell you that we love, that we've reviewed and we love it. That's where you'll find that. Any links to that. You'll find all our favorite videos, links on that description box on every video. So I'll link the description, I'll link the potato salad in the description box for you from another video. So I usually do a lot more eggs than I do potatoes. I think I cut up 3 or 4 potatoes there. And I'm probably gonna do about 6 eggs. I might do these 8. If I don't need them, then I will have egg salad one day. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this on the stove. I've also showed you how I boil eggs too. If I can find that video, I will link it. It's inside of another one that tells you a recipe of some kind. So usually I make a lot more potato salad than that, but there's only 3 of us here today. I want to get started on these cucumbers. So I'm going to wash them real quick, get them sliced up in the bowl. I'll show you the first day of that, and then I'll put that link down there like I told you. So I'm not going to go through all 7 days, but like I said, I will link it in the description box how to do this. If you don't have one of these, this is a Hamilton Beach electric kettle. I advise you to get one if you do much at all. Y'all don't look at my mess. I am really working hard. So I want to show you the first thing we're going to do, which is we're going to add 1 cup of salt to today's cucumbers. This is a 2-cup measurement. I may have to get some more salt. In the recipe that my friend gave me, there's no measurement on how many cucumbers or anything. I've always just used this big bowl, this big Pyrex bowl to do them in. And it will tie your bowl up for 7 days. Let me get some more salt. I think that might be enough. So all you do is you just pour the salt right over your cucumbers. And like I said, I don't know how many cucumbers that was. I don't think it matters. I just used a very large bowl. And like I said, it will tie your bowl up for 7 days. I'm waiting on my water to boil, and then we'll pour boiling water over the top to cover it. We will put the lid on it and put it, I started to say put it in the refrigerator. You don't put it in the refrigerator today. You set it on the counter for 24 hours. again, all I'm doing is showing you the first day of the sweet, I keep saying sweet potato, sweet refrigerator pickles that I'm making. And now I put the 1 cup of salt over them, and now I'm just pouring the boiling water to cover the cucumbers. I'm gonna put my pickles right here. I'm gonna cover them with the lid. They are still warm. I told you I'm using it in my potato salad today. Let me chop up these eggs real quick. I know this is a wild video doing 100 things, but if you're like me, you've got 100 things to do. I've got all these tomatoes I've got to put up. I try not to can in the summertime because it's just too hot and we don't want to heat up our kitchen. I don't mind doing that in the winter, but in the summertime, it's just too hot. So unless I make salsa or pico sauce, something fresh, I usually just freeze my tomatoes. And the easiest way that I found to freeze those is to just wash them. You can core them, take the stem off or not. Sometimes I just wash them and put them, take the stem off right there and put them whole on a cookie sheet, flash freeze them in the freezer, and then put them in a Ziploc bag. Sometimes I take the stem off after I wash them and I core them and put them in a Ziploc bag. I don't cut them up, I put them in whole. Now I'm gonna chop up some of Stacy's pickles and just make them really little for our potato salad. These are great. The tomatoes are wonderful to freeze like that. And then in the winter, you can take them out and do whatever you want to. Make soup or whatever. I do like to make soup when there's fresh food available. So sometimes I do make soup in the summertime, but that's the easiest way to do your tomatoes if you don't want to can in the summertime. I'm out in the garden every morning picking or doing something in it, and I don't really want to do, I really don't want to can this summer. So I'll make pico, like I said, or salsa, something like that, but that's all I care about doing. So I'm chopping these pickles up really, really fine. I'm gonna add some salt and pepper to my potato salad. I'm gonna add just a little bit of mustard, if I can get it open. This is my mayonnaise I made this morning, just homemade, and I'm just gonna dump it in. If I need some more, I'll make it, and if I do make it, I will show you how I did that. I use a whole egg, Dijon mustard, I use salt, I use a little bit of vinegar or lemon juice. I prefer lemon juice, and then olive oil, and that's all. And we'll do that one day. I'll show you if I don't have to make some today. And I'm just gonna stir this up, and there's my potato salad. So it's 3 potatoes is all I used, and I had plenty of mayonnaise. Homemade mayonnaise is so much better than bought. It's unbelievable. In bulk, it's just convenience. But healthier, and if you're going to use it quick, this is a great way to do it. So I just went out to the freezer and got these bananas. I had frozen them. Normally I dehydrated these, but these were a little bit ripe, and I thought this would be great to have for hummingbird cake. So all I'm going to do is just designate a Ziploc bag just for bananas. So these have been sitting. This is called flash freezing, and this is when you want to flash freeze something where it won't stick together. This is how you do it. So all these are individually frozen, and I'm putting them in the Ziploc bag. And then next week, if I have another batch of bananas, I know exactly where these are. And if they get too ripe, I'll just freeze them, and then I can get out exactly what I need, like for a hummingbird cake or whatever else you need. Even a bowl of cereal, putting it on a bowl of cereal, just let it thaw out. These do not turn brown when you freeze them. They're really good. I'm gonna go put these in the freezer. So now I'm gonna show you what to do with your tomatoes. If you're not in the mood to can, if you don't want to can, it's summertime, it's hot, you'd rather be outside, you need to, you've got other things to do. This is a quick way to take care of your fresh tomatoes. And it's easy too. And then in the winter, you can do whatever you want to with them. If you're in the mood to can, that's great. But if you're not like me, I've got a lot of other things to do. I need to freeze this squash. I'm going to show you quickly how I do these tomatoes. Tomatoes are the ripest that I had that I need to do something with. So I want to pick the ones that don't have anything on them. And you don't have to core them, but you can. I'm going to. I just go ahead and core them. I'm using that banana pan to put them in. I core them like that, and I just get a Ziploc bag, and I place them in here. Or you can flash freeze them, whatever way you want to do. You can flash freeze them and put them in a Ziploc bag later. So again, pick them with no blemishes. And just core them. I've washed them earlier. I started to say yesterday. I washed them and let them dry. And then I'm just going to set these face up. Now that one has a blemish, so I am going to probably use that one myself. This is a Cherokee Purple, if you don't know what that is. It is absolutely delicious. I'm probably going to save it. And here's just a red tomato. Again, you don't have to core them, but it makes life simpler when you get them out to get ready to can them or freeze them, or whatever you're going to make soup with them, whatever you're going to do. When you thaw these out like this, you do not have to boil them to get the skins off. The skins, when you thaw them out, the skins just fall off. And so you don't have to do all that. It's so much simpler. Another thing about doing the tomatoes this way is the juice from the tomatoes. If you core them, when you thaw them out, the juice from the tomatoes, all the watery part, it will be in the bottom of your bag or your pan, whatever you put it in. And so you won't have all the juice. You'll have more of the meat of the tomato. I love to do this, and see, that one needs to be used today because it's got a blemish on it. And I about have this bag filled up. Maybe one more small one. Make sure it don't have any blemishes. If it does, you can just cut it out and put it in here too, just like this. When I start to do this and I make the soup, I will, or whatever I'm making, when I get them out of the freezer in the winter, when I have more time, I will show you how that juice does. It'll just all come out in the bag when you thaw it out, and you can pour that water off, and you'll have just the meaty tomato. The peeling will just peel off because it's been frozen and it's thawed out. So this is how it'll look in your freezer, just like that. So here I'm gonna quickly do another one, and then I gotta go outside. I've got some sitting on the patio that needed to ripen just a little bit more. And I'll look at them when I go out with these to put these in the freezer. Now, if you want to do them a different way, like I said, you can do this right here and put them on a cookie sheet and not put them straight in the bag. Or you can not core them, just stem them, wash them, dry them, and freeze them. When you cut into these, you'll see they have a lot of juice. Now see, that's one with a blemish. I'm gonna set it aside. This one has a blemish. Set it aside. Little things like this don't matter. That's just where it didn't get enough rain. Blemish. And you can still freeze those. I just wouldn't core them. I love to make homemade soup in the winter. It kills me to freeze these Cherokee purples because they're so good to be eaten like this. See, that's got a blemish. You could actually cut that off. Let's just do it. You could cut that off, make sure there's nothing in there, cut the core out, and still put it in your bag. You're gonna lose a lot more juice doing it that way, but it's doable. Let's do this one too. That one has a little hole on it. This is such an easy way to do your tomatoes though. Ooh, that one's really needs to be used today. And oh, I hate to cut that one. I hate to, but I'm going to because it needs to be used. It'll be good in soup. That is a beautiful tomato. Look at that. If you don't know about Cherokee purples and you like to grow tomatoes, you need to grow some Cherokee purples. They are wonderful. So that's 2 bags. I'm gonna go ahead and take them to the freezer. These to my chickens. I've made a mess. And if there's any tomatoes outside that I need to do, but I'm gonna take these 2 bags to the freezer, and I'm going to come back in and take the scraps to my chickens when I get through with all the tomatoes. These will go in the freezer. We'll can them whenever we want to, or make soup or whatever you want to. That's the easiest way to freeze tomatoes, I'm telling you. So I took those tomatoes out and put them in the freezer. I lay them flat. Once they freeze, then you can just stack them up. So these are some tomatoes that were on the deck that are ready. I'm gonna show you how to do these not cored. So it's so easy. And just like you did the others, just put them right in the bag. These are washed and dried and ready for the freezer. If you're not going to use these tomatoes that have blemishes on them, if you're not going to use them right away to freeze for later, like I'm doing, then I'm just going to take my tomatoes and cut the blemishes out and freeze them just whole like this. I want to make sure there's no holes in that or anything. I'm not coring these, I'm just putting them in here. Now this has got bottom rot. I had very few that had bottom rot this year. I usually have a lot. So I'm just gonna cut this and make sure that it didn't go into the tomato, and see it didn't. And then I'm just gonna freeze it just like that. Here's another one. Had a little blemish on it. That's not bottom rot. I'm just going to cut that out. This is just some ways that I do tomatoes. That's got a whole split in it. That is from getting a little overripe and probably lack of water. That really needs to be used today. And I'm probably not gonna cut that and put it in a bag. This one again has the blemish on the bottom, blemish on the top. I'm not worried about the top, but the bottom I want to make sure that it didn't go into the tomato. These little lines are just from lack of water. Isn't that the most beautiful tomato? I'm telling you, Cherokee purples, they're great. They used to be heirlooms. You can find them anywhere now. And see, that's just a line from not getting enough water. So I'm just gonna throw that in there. That'll come off with the peeling. These have a couple of little, looks like wormholes. I'll cut them out and make sure there's no holes in my tomato. And there's not, that's as far as it went. Another Cherokee purple. That was so good. I'm just gonna stick it in here. This one's a little bitty one. See, my chickens will probably just enjoy that. So now we've got another bag that's half full. I'll go ahead and put these in the freezer. And then tomorrow when we pick more tomatoes or those on the deck gets ripe, we'll just add it to this bag. These will be frozen. So next I'm going to show you my tomatoes and what I do with them. Woo, it is already getting hot out there, but I wanted to show you, that's the tomatoes. A lot of people just waste the tomatoes. I'm telling you, they're really good. So what I do first, this has bottom rot, so I'll set it aside. These are not tomatoes. I don't know what kind of tomatoes these are, but they're small, so I freeze them with the tomatoes. So I wanted to show you this on the vine. So I don't know what kind these are, but they're just beautiful. And so I'll take these red ones and I'll probably throw these yellow ones in there out. The green ones will go to the chickens. And I'll freeze them. But I'll take each stem off if it has a stem on it. Left on it when I get through. Put that with the chickens. So see, they came off clean. So I'm gonna just set those on this towel that I've got. And I'm just gonna start picking the stems off of all these little tomatoes. And once I get them done, then we'll wash them. Now I don't use insecticide or anything on my garden. Our garden is done really well. I will take that back. I did use 7 on my zinnias. When they first started growing, before they bloomed, they got some Japanese beetles. And see, that's yellow, but that's fine. Now, some of these are called sun gold. So all we're doing here is taking the stems off, just like that. And I just threw it somewhere. And it shouldn't be in there, it should be in the chicken bowl. And that one's soft. So you can tell when you touch each one, you can tell if they're, that's a good one, if they're good, if they need the stems off, if they've got blemishes. And I'm just piling them up here. So tomatoes and these little tomatoes get a bad rap to me. So all I'm gonna do with this is so easy. Tomatoes are what some people call cherry tomatoes. These are not, don't think these aren't ripe. These are called sun gold, and they're probably my favorite cherry tomato that I've eaten so far. We love to eat these in a salad. We love to eat these just off the vine. We love to eat these just for a snack. They're really, really good. All I'm gonna do is wash these up, get a clean towel, spread it out, let these dry, and then I'll show you what I'm gonna do next. So I've got a clean towel, I just put it on my countertop. wash my tomatoes. And all I'm gonna do is spread these out and let them dry for a little while. Want to, this is the last of my paper towels. I've got some, but they're up high in the closet, and with my leg I cannot get up there. But if you want to, you can put, you know, paper towels on it, or another towel, that would work too, and just to speed up the drying process, because you don't want them wet when you freeze them. So now what we're going to do is we're going to move on to the squash. Y'all hear my dryer? Yes, I have laundry just like you do, and I'm going to show you the easiest way to freeze your squash. Now, I did a video on fried squash. This squash that I'm freezing now, this is the end of the season. We get about double this every day. I did some yesterday, and I freeze it. I've got enough frozen for fried squash, so now I'm gonna freeze it for just casseroles or squash patties or squash dressing. So you don't really have to do anything to it, but cut it out. So this is just the easiest way for me to do it. Now you can't fry squash this way from frozen, and I've got a video on that. I'll try to link it down there in the description box. You can chop this up any way you want to. You can chop it up sliced, it doesn't matter. You can chop it up in pieces like that. It really doesn't matter. All you're going to do is freeze it just like this. Now these were washed yesterday and dried, and they have sat overnight, and they are ready to put in the freezer. And I don't want to waste anything. Remember, we're preparing for the worst but hoping for the best. I have a lot of hope this week. I hope you do too. So it doesn't matter the size. You're going to boil these when you cook them, or fry them in squash patties, however you do it. But again, you cannot fry these like with cornmeal or flour or anything like this when you freeze them this way. And I'm not frying squash today. We have fried so much squash, and I'm just getting mine prepared for the freezer. We are at the end of our season. The chickens love those that's got the seed in them. It's best to do everything seasonal. Now when the holidays come, it'll be fruit season and time to buy oranges and things like that. And you'll want to put some of those up. I love to dehydrate oranges and lemons and stuff when they're cheaper. I sure hope grocery prices go down, that's for sure. Okay, let's bag those up. Now I choose to put these in quart-sized bags. It ends up being about 2 cups, and a lot of recipe calls for 2 cups. I don't measure it out or anything like that. And I do not blanch these. I used to do all that hard work. I don't do that anymore. You just want to make sure that these are completely sealed up. Whoops. I'm good at dropping things on my floor, Sweet Hunter says. You want to get all the air out. There's so many things that you can use these for. It's so good to have in the wintertime. It's funny how we get tired of like fried squash and stuff in the summer, but in the wintertime we'll be wanting a fresh tomato and fried squash. Okay, we almost got all that. So that's 2 quarts right there. And I'm gonna take one out. That's a little too much. Always squeeze the air out. And then we'll finish these. I'm gonna save one for my salad today. Sweet Hunter needed a snack, so I had some canned cinnamon rolls. And I thought that'll be quick because I'm a busy woman right now. So I'm just gonna put some icing on that. He usually when he makes these, he usually makes his own icing, but it's not gonna happen right now because we're doing squash and tomatoes. Well, you never know, it might happen. Looks like we're about out. I told y'all this was a hodgepodge video. So I'm making those canned cinnamon rolls, and I did run out of the icing, so I am making Sweet Hunter's icing. This is confectionate sugar. I'm just going to show you quickly how to make a quick icing for your canned cinnamon rolls. In the midst of chaos, right? In the midst of garden stuff. I'll just put a little vanilla in there. Sweet Hunter likes that. And a little bit of milk. Start out with just a little bit. I think that was 2 big spoonfuls. So you just want to start out with a little bit of milk because that confectionate sugar eats that liquid up. And then we're just going to stir it up. And you can tell if it needs more, and it does. So let's just do a little bit more. Kind of like when you make mayonnaise, just a little bit more of olive oil, just a little bit more of milk. I actually like it where it's pourable. He likes his a little bit thicker, I think, when he makes it, but you just want to make sure you get all the lumps out. So, as you can see, some of the icing didn't go on all of them, so I'm just covering them all. This will make a good little snack till I can get them something good fixed to eat. We need to make cinnamon rolls one day. Homemade cinnamon rolls, that is. Let me take these out to them, and look at them. They're pretty. Canned cinnamon rolls with homemade icing. Quick snack. We'll be back to continue this squash. Well, I rung the bell. We got a bell out there, a dinner bell. I hope they heard it. I'm not a big canned cinnamon roll person, but when you're hungry and you're working, that's pretty good. Well, that was a good little snack. So back to this. So this is took, what if I keep throwing them on the floor? This has took like no time to slice our squash, put it in the Ziploc bags, even stop for a minute and do cinnamon rolls. And that's 4 quarts right there. So next we're gonna do our zucchini, and I usually grate my zucchini, but today I'm just gonna slice this up and put it in a Ziploc bag just like that. So very easy to do, and then there's so many recipes that you can use these in. You can even put them in your soups just for extra vitamins. I'm not a big zucchini person. I like zucchini bread, but I've got enough froze for that. So now this won't fill this quart up, but tomorrow I'll have more zucchini, so I'll go ahead and put this in the freezer and then I'll just add to it. So I'm gonna go out to the freezer, put these up, and then we'll be back. told Sweet Hunter, I said, I need a new freezer. I've got two. I've got a big upright and a big chest type. Well, it's not huge, it's medium size. I need a new freezer. So, I ain't gonna get one on spending freeze though. We gotta have some changes in this country before I spend some money. But it does call for a Coke. It's getting really warm out there. So we don't waste anything around here. All this will go to the chickens or the compost pile, and all this is scraps, just scraps. And it's not like food, it's scraps from fresh vegetables. So sometimes we just throw them in the garden, and sometimes we have a compost bin that a friend gave me, and we put them in there if the chickens can't eat it. My chickens are small, so they don't eat a whole lot, and we're feeding them the bean. We're pulling up the bean plants right now, and we throw about 3 or 4 or 5 bean plants in, and those chickens are loving it. They are just loving it. So we're going to start on these tomatoes now, so they're ready to do. They're dry enough, and they've been sitting out here a little while. And I'm going to go outside and get the freezer bag that I already have some in. No, never mind. Forget that. Scratch that. So, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get a cookie sheet. I'm going to put these on the cookie sheet. I'll show you. Hold on. I do my peppers like this too. So, I just put them on the cookie sheet and fill this up, and I set it inside the freezer. This is flash freezing again, y'all, flash freezing. And then I have a Ziploc bag outside that's in the freezer. I'm gonna leave a few of these for the salad I'm gonna make. That can go in the salad. I saw one with a blemish. Yeah, that's some little critters eat something out of that, so I'll cut that off and use that in the salad. So this is the way we're going to take this to the freezer right now. And this will stay in my freezer like this until probably tomorrow. So it'll stay in there about 24 hours. And then I've got a big gallon size Ziploc bag. I'll probably have to start another one full of tomatoes, and I'll just add it to that. Now you may think tomatoes are not important. These make the best tomato sauce, the best soup, the best pasta sauce. These, you don't have to peel them, you just roast them. Oh, they're so good. You can't use them in salads when they're froze like that. You have to use them in salads fresh, like I'm pulled out today. But these are great in soups or anything. And they're so tender and so little, you do not have to peel them. These right here, the peelings will just slip off. Again, I don't remember the name of these, but they're smaller than my regular tomatoes, so I just put them in with the tomatoes because I'm probably going to be doing a lot of sauces in the winter. So I love to do that. I love to make it, well, like Sweet Hunter says, I tell you all the time, work smarter, not harder. And so that's the way I'm doing this. I don't have as much to do in the winter as I do in the summer. And like right now, I need to be in the garden. I need to be up at the chicken coop. I need to be filling up feeders. There's so much to do in the summer, and there's not in the winter that much, and you have to stay in. So it's a great time to can, a great time to cook. I love it. So I'm going to the freezer now to put these in until tomorrow. Well, we've got those tomatoes done. We've got the tomatoes in, and I'll add them to the bag tomorrow. I doubt I'll show it on here but I'll show it a different time if I hadn't already. Now I'm just gonna get our lunch ready, which is just gonna be spaghetti and bread and a salad. And that'll be our supper too. I make one big meal during the day. I actually have a doctor's appointment today, so I'm trying to get everything done I can where I can get ready for that. These little green peppers are out of the garden. They've done really, really good. I'll need to make some Thousand Island dressing. I don't know if I put that video on where I made that the other day, but Sweet Hunter likes Thousand Island dressing, so I'll do it again. Everything here is out of the garden except some of that spring mix. And my lettuce, because of the heat, has just about done its due. But in about a week, maybe 2 weeks, I'll be replanting that. Probably a week and a half. I'll be replanting lettuce and spinach and all that. I will be making a fall garden. That's why we feed the chickens the bean plants, because our beans they probably would get a few more beans on there, but we have got so many beans, so we're so blessed. So I'm just gonna make this salad real quick, set it in the refrigerator, mix up some spaghetti. I'm just gonna do some baked spaghetti, really simple. Add this little squash just because we have it, and it's great vitamins, and it's great in the salad. So y'all saw my day today. So I'm gonna, after I get this done and get the spaghetti whipped together, after I get this done and get the spaghetti done, after I get this done and get the spaghetti done, I will fold clothes. And that was my dryer telling me that it's ready. So, look how pretty those little tomatoes, those little sun gold tomatoes look in there. Now this is a little tomato that had a little bit of bottom rot. Yep, the dryer's off. And this tomato, remember, it has the crack in it. And this is the Cherokee purple tomato, which I absolutely love. To make a sandwich with this Cherokee purple tomato is to die for. So I'm just gonna get the inside, since it's got that on the peeling, and that's just a crack from not enough rain. We need rain. We did have a rain shower yesterday. Thank the Lord. Wasn't enough, but it was good. And there's our salad. Add some cheese to that. Can't beat it. I got me another bite of that cinnamon roll. So my friend Joyce sent me this, and I showed y'all this back a few months ago. It is wonderful. So you just pull your plastic wrap out and zip it. I don't know where she got it, but I'm telling you, it has saved my life. So I hate plastic wrap, and she saw that on the videos. Look at that, it just cuts it. You just pull it out perfectly. So here it is. Joyce, I can't thank you enough. I use this all the time, and I love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. Well, y'all, I've got the spaghetti in the oven. I actually had some in the freezer from when a friend brought it to me, and we only ate half of it. So I've got it in the oven, and I've got my bread thawing out. And I'm gonna take this to the chickens. I'm gonna finish my Coke. I'm gonna fold clothes. That's the video today. I hope y'all enjoyed it. We've done a whole lot more that you didn't see, but you'll see on other videos. I hope you enjoyed it, and I enjoyed you being with me in the kitchen. It makes my heart happy. Thank you. Y'all go cook something.